Update. Am I the a-hole for dumping my girlfriend after moving in with her? Original post. I, 25 male, moved in with my girlfriend, 24 female of 4 years, 3 weeks ago. She chose the place, and although her name is on the lease, I paid half of the deposit and paid the first month of rent, as she couldn't afford it. I also paid the first month of bills. She works part-time and has some savings she used to furnish the place according to her taste, despite my objections. I felt she overspent, and the money could have been better spent on other things. She had a few friends over on Monday when I came home. She had ordered food, and as I normally come home from work at 5, she was surprised to see me there an hour earlier. They were a little drunk, and one of her friends made strange comments, which I thought nothing of due to the alcohol as I went to the bathroom to shower. When I came out from the shower, her other friends and sister was quoting me poetry that I had written to my girlfriend, and was quite handsy. I found it odd and asked her where she had heard that. She goes, "We just read your love letters to her before watching a movie." My girlfriend was laughing with them. Her sister made a remark about how she wanted me to do her the way I do her sister, because she had never felt that way. I was furious, but due to her drunkenness, thought it impossible to talk to her. So I just left for my mother's house. On Tuesday, she called me 17 times, but I ignored it. She also sent me many texts, wanting to know why I wasn't home. On Wednesday, I told her in person how hurt I was for her sharing my intimate letters with her friends, and for oversharing what we do in private. She said, "Relax, it was a joke, and nobody got hurt." She said the girls were impressed with me, and that is why they got a little handsy. She said once I gave her the letters, they were hers to share with whom she pleased. So I told her that I am my own person, and can make the decision to not share more of myself with her. Today she came to my mother's apologizing. She wanted me to come back and talk it out with her. I told her no, and that we were through. She wouldn't leave, so I drove to my father's place, where I am now. She kept texting me and telling me that I should be ashamed of myself for leaving her like that. She got her friends and sister to apologize to me, and they told me to quit playing games and go home now that they had apologized. I told them I was home, and that as my name was not on the lease and I wasn't respected as an equal in her home, I no longer wanted to be with her. Luckily for me, I hadn't moved most of my stuff there. She kept phoning and texting, and I blocked her. She then made a mutual friend of ours contact me and tell me that I was being cowardly about it, so I blocked him too. Then his girlfriend texted me and told me not to take things out of proportion. I am almost certain I did the right thing, but maybe I should talk it out with her before cutting all contact. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Nobody got hurt. Odd she said that, after you explicitly said it hurt you. Also, don't love it when people rope their friends into internal relationship disputes. Personally, I wouldn't want to sign up for a life of this, so not the a-hole. Nah, she was just being honest. She just thinks OP is nobody to her. That she called him a B while trying to win him back was the final nail in the coffin. She thought a bloke calling him an emasculating name would shame him into coming back. Boy, did sis read that wrong. OP deserves better than someone who thinks getting your boyfriend groped by your drunk friends is a fun joke. Not the a-hole. Can you imagine what this situation would be viewed as if this was a guy treating a girl this way? She comes home and his friends are drunk. They've gone through her intimate stuff that she's given him. He talks to them about their intimate lives, and they all come up to her and start being handsy with her and telling her how great she is and to sleep with them in the same way. Then later on call her, apologize to her, then tell her she's being too sensitive and a B for not coming back. Yeah, that is quite the scene you just laid out. Totally disgusting, whether you are male or female. It's not just the love letters that I wrote intimate thoughts in that got to me. She shared our sex life too. I thought everyone knew that what happens between two people stays that way. The letters were sent and addressed to her when I was abroad, and it had a lot of info about my family, and I never thought she would share them with people I didn't address them to. Now for the update. After reading a lot of the advice here and talking it out with my family and friends, it seems it's best to not continue my relationship. I haven't contacted her directly, but I went with my brother and my friend while she went to visit her parents on a pre-booked trip. I collected my things and gave my brother the key to give her Friday evening. She wouldn't take it from him, as she wanted me to return it. My brother told her there was zero chance of that happening because of the TikTok post she had on her account going into more details about what was in the letters from me, including her mentioning my sister by name and her miscarriages. This forced my sister to tell my mother about it, even though it brought up a lot of trauma for her. At the moment, my sister is not talking to me because she felt I shouldn't have shared that with anyone. I agree. It was a violation on my part, even though I was looking for emotional support from my girlfriend. My ex took down the post in hopes of getting me to meet with her. When she realized that wouldn't happen, she put up another one telling her side of the story. There were several parts, and in it she was looking for the letters to show her followers. But I knew where she kept them and took them while I went to collect my stuff. I burnt all of them. I won't be writing letters to any new romantic partners anytime soon. Her sister has been to my mother's a few times trying to get me to help out with the rent. As according to my ex's reasoning, if I hadn't agreed to pay for the rent, she wouldn't have overspent in setting up her home the way she wanted. Even if she sells the stuff, she won't get the original price for it, so she feels it's my fault for making her lose money. She did contact the landlord, filmed for TikTok viewers while she was on the phone to him, and he denied her breaking the lease without penalties. Now she has to pay the remainder of the months. I asked her for my deposit through my friend while he was on a loudspeaker to her, so I could hear her side without having to speak, knowing full well I wouldn't get my part, but at least he tried. She called him a lot of names, then phoned him back and apologized because she wanted him to tell me to phone her so she could straighten out the misunderstanding and we could get back together. She has now taken down all the posts about me. Don't know if she will upload them again once it dawns on her that we are through. She phoned my brother again to make me speak to her so she could explain, and he met her a few hours ago. He finally gave her the key as she was told either she could take it or we could return it to the landlord. He picked up a call from her an hour after I dropped off the keys. She wanted to talk to me and to forgive her, as she had seen how she made a mistake and that it wouldn't happen again. She wanted me to return the love letters, but my brother told her they were burned. She had to go at him, so my brother cut her off. She phoned back more apologetic and said what she had to do to make me go back. He asked her if she would be okay with me sharing her nudes and clips she has sent me with my male friends. He asked her this without okaying it with me first. She said she wouldn't be okay with it. I guess the double standard has completely turned me off, as she told my brother that if you receive something through a romantic relationship, then it stays between four eyes. It's not that she doesn't understand that what she did is wrong, it's that she expects me to be okay with it, as in her mind, her feelings matter more in a relationship. She also thinks that me being taller and bigger than her shouldn't have felt threatened by her friends or sister, as I was not really in harm's way. He then blocked her as she phoned him several times over and left him crying messages, and then some angry messages to delete her nudes. Her sister left an angry message with a friend that helped me with asking for the deposit, and she threatened him that if I ever leaked her nudes, I wouldn't live to regret it. She told him to pass on the message to me that there is something she's very insecure about sharing about her body, and she doesn't want me to share that without her consent. I'm getting a new number as I can do so with my current payment plan. I'm going forward from this and hoping that I make better decisions in the future. Thank you to all that helped me with good advice. Her double standards and that of her sister are seriously disgusting. You got rid of a cancer in your life, bro. Forward and upward. I honestly get how love letters can be different to nudes, but in this case, they aren't. F the sister for that, and all those hypocrites. Call me crazy, but is it really that hard to understand you shouldn't embarrass your partner for your friend's amusement? His ex is someone who puts her life on TikTok, possibly without realizing it's her worst side. It's unsurprising that she shared personal info for her friend's amusement. So, OP is rightly upset about girlfriend sharing intimate details of their relationship, and then girlfriend decides to post, check notes, multiple times to TikTok about said intimate relationship issues, and is shocked he won't speak to her? Alright then. Let's not forget the sexual harassment of ex-girlfriend's sister groping and asking to hook up. Like, was he supposed to agree and then do her right there? Yeesh. OP's ex could have fixed this with an immediate apology, but no. She kept doubling down. Also, girl, when you go to a lower paying job, you don't spend your savings on frivolous things. Well, in her mind, she had someone else to pay day-to-day expenses. She was going to save up for a few months while he paid rent. I doubt she would have ever paid anything towards it. Dropping down to part-time before moving into your first place is pretty deliberate. I also doubt that the landlord said only one person could be on lease. That's weird, at least where I live. Last story. Update. Am I the a-hole for blocking my ex when she broke up with me? Original post. My 19 male ex-girlfriend, 20 female of 3 years, broke up with me Sunday night over text. She told me that she felt like my lack of ambition was holding her back and she needed to move on with her life because she felt like I didn't value her. When she sent me that, I just sent okay and blocked her and fell asleep shortly after. I did not block her friends and had loads of messages yesterday morning when I woke up. They were asking me to unblock her and talk to her. My sister, 20 female, is also friends with my ex-girlfriend, and she told me that my ex was hurt by my sudden blocking and that she still wanted to talk to me for closure and wanted to make sure I was okay. I told my sister that I was okay and that I didn't want to talk to my ex, but would like it if she could tell her I appreciate her checking on me. My sister was not happy with this and told me that it was a hard decision for my ex, and she just wants to talk to me. I again told her I was fine and that I'd rather not. My sister then told me that I'm acting insanely calm for being broken up with someone I was with for 3 years. I again told her I was fine. She asked me if I cried, and I told her that I didn't, and I just fell asleep listening to music. My sister told me that she's concerned about my lack of emotion and told me that my behavior isn't normal. I told her that I'm not obligated to cry over anything, and I think it's weird that she was acting like I was. My sister once again told me that it wouldn't hurt to have one conversation with my ex because she was still worried about me and wanted to stay friends. I once again told her that I was fine and didn't want to talk to her. She told me that my lack of compassion is psychotic, and that ticked me off, so I just started ignoring her and she eventually left me alone. This morning, when I woke up, my sister sent me a bunch of text messages again, so I just blocked her, and because of this, she went and told our parents and they are upset with me for blocking my ex without communicating first. They said that we've been together long enough and they thought of her as a second daughter. I was just aggravated at this point and told them that I'd appreciate it if they mind their business, but they didn't stop. So I told them I wouldn't hesitate to block them too if they continue, which caused them to stop. They apologized to me and told me that they didn't mean any harm, but just felt like it was a little inconsiderate of me to just block her without talking about it first. But they won't press me to talk to her if I don't want to. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Are you kidding? She says she doesn't want to date you, and that is mad when you cut contact? She can't have it both ways. She dumped you. She chose to end it. She's a huge a-hole for making her inability to deal with her emotions about the breakup your problem. Like, why should you babysit her emotions when she freaking dumped you? Thank you. I don't understand why everyone was making it seem like I was in the wrong when I wasn't even the one who broke up with her. It was a strategic dumping, a wake-up call. Your sister may even have been in on it. And second thoughts make that probably. You were supposed to realize what you were about to lose and get your act together. Then you'd all live happily ever after. Except you, because your significant other would threaten to dump you every time you didn't comply. By accepting it and not following their script, you ruined the narrative and left your ex hanging with no plan B. The closure was code for you begging for a second chance if you agreed to straighten up, and your ex graciously agreeing. Nice body swerve there. Your ex and possibly your sister seemed to be playing stupid games, and you were well out of it. Nobody raising the point that she broke up via freaking text? A 3-year relationship. WTF. And then everyone claims the recipient of the text is an a-hole. That is crazy. I have the feeling girlfriend didn't want to break up, but rather have OP up himself to whatever she deems good enough. His sister's reaction is strange as well. Too invested in this drama that isn't one. I'm guessing ex and sister cooked this up to fight for us, or trick him into something. Yep, she's furious she's not getting any validation from OP. No begging, no pleading. Ignoring her is absolutely the best thing OP could do. And yeah, sister absolutely was part of the discussion. OP needs to talk to his parents about that part. That nonsense should not fly. Now for the update. This happened like exactly a week ago, so I apologize for not updating. I genuinely was not thinking about this at a time. Basically, my ex showed up at my parents' house during Easter with my sister. My parents and I weren't even made aware that she was coming. She told us that she only came because she had no other way to communicate with me. She told me that she was extremely hurt by me blocking her right off the bat because it made her feel like I actually didn't care about her at all. She said she thought that I would have loved her enough to try and better myself for her. I was confused by this, to be honest. I told her that she said I was holding her back and she needed to move on. If anyone told me that I was holding them back in life, I probably would have blocked them too. I told her that even if she didn't say that, I still wouldn't have begged her to stay. We kinda talked a little more after that, and then she got my sister to take her back home. When my sister came back, she was mad at me again because she said that I caused my ex to cry, and I'm simply punishing her for caring about me. My parents are mad at my sister though, because they said it was unnecessary for her to do that at their house because it made the atmosphere awkward for everyone. Other than that, I've really just been chilling. I don't think I'ma try and date anybody else soon though, or at least not someone my sister is friends with, because it makes me uncomfortable with how much she's invested in my life. Not the a-hole. She broke up with you. She has no reasonable way to expect that you would continue to follow her around like a lost puppy. Showing up at your parents' house to talk to you after you blocked her is stalker behavior. So she made herself cry when it didn't turn out like she wanted. This girl overplayed her hand. What she thought was that OP would beg her to stay and ask what he could change about himself to improve. Instead, OP was like, "Cool, peace out." Yep, and she deserves exactly what's happened. If there is something that needs to change, you talk like an adult to your partner and see if you can come to a good compromise if you can. Awesome if you can't. It's a shame, but you aren't compatible. OP's ex-girlfriend played stupid game. Won stupid prize. Sister is way out of line for encouraging this kind of behavior and saying OP needs to accommodate this kind of ridiculous behavior. Yeah, you have no reason at all to not block her. If she really broke up with you in an attempt to get you to level up for her, that is absolutely moronic. I wonder which idiotic woman in her life told her that this was a good idea. She 100% did not get that advice from a man, because any man would have told her that that idea was idiotic. We should all be going full no contact after a breakup. Also, why the heck would you try to convince someone who has already decided that they don't want you anymore to stay with you? Who the heck would want to be with a woman who doesn't want to be with them? That sounds like a nightmare relationship. We taking bets on this? Because I won $10 on his sister. My husband is cheating on me with my best friend. I sent him screenshots of his conversation with her and my conversation with a Tinder guy I'm meeting on Friday. Plus update. Original post. I, female 29, had to move for a few months to a different city for my studies. I moved in September and I'll stay here until June. My sister called me to say that I saw him with my best friend. We wouldn't have thought anything about it if my sister didn't say that she had a sense that they looked caught. I logged into his phone and saw the texts, including the ones discussing the interaction with my sister. I sent him all the screenshots. I also made a Tinder account and started talking with the guy. We got flirty and planned to meet on Friday, and I took screenshots and sent them to my husband too. Now he has been calling and texting me since yesterday. "Please, baby, don't do it," he said. But I don't think I hurt him as much as he hurt me. Now for the top comments before reading the update. I think if you plan on divorcing, you'll have more of a leg to stand on if you don't provide evidence of your Friday tryst. Totally get it in an emotional level though. Sorry this is happening. Devastating. The first time my abusive hubby cheated on me, I found out in the worst possible way. Went to the ER to get treated for a urinary tract infection. Doctor comes in after running tests and says, "You don't have a UTI, you have chlamydia." I called my husband and told him he had best get checked, and to call his girlfriend to get checked too. He started accusing me of being the cheater. I went back home because I had nowhere else to go. A few days later, my best friend called me in hysterics, saying her husband was going to end her. I asked what was wrong, and she said she got diagnosed with chlamydia. That friendship ended. Unfortunately, I was stupid and stayed with him. I ran from him for 24 years. I left him a total of 4 times. The last time was when he hit me while I was holding our newborn. He chased me up and down the East Coast and even threatened to off us. I found out about a month ago that he has been dead the past 2 years. I don't have to run anymore, but I think it is gonna take a while for me not to be scared anymore. Baby girl, don't set yourself aflame trying to scorch this earth. Don't reveal any details of getting your lick back if that's what you plan to do and go through with it. The husband and the best friend, though, same age-old tale, different OP. No, contact both, especially the best friend. There's no coming back from that, and you'll never trust her again. Your friendship is dead. Her marriage is dead too after I'm finished with my husband. Not saying you're the same, but when I cheated to get back at a significant other, it did not give me the satisfaction I hoped. Just be careful and expect some emotional fallout, even if it's not immediate. Sometimes it doesn't come until the rage settles. I agree. I once tried to get back at a cheating girlfriend after we broke up, but it fell through. Later, when I was over the cheating in a relationship, I was so glad it fell through. Deep down, I didn't want to be like her. Cancel on a Tinder guy and set up appointments to find your perfect divorce lawyer. Gather your documents and don't say a thing to your husband about your stealth divorce. Be strategic. Serve it cold and calculated. Now for the update. I found out more about the cheating, and I guess my husband thought an explanation would make it better in any way. It just ended up making it worse. Much, much worse. Of course, I haven't spoken to him in person because that is what he wants, and that is what I won't give him. I've just been reading his frantic messages that he's been sending me because I don't pick up. I live in another city for my last semester of school. It was something that we both believed we can manage, and let's face it, real couples who share real love do manage it. I visit home every other weekend, and he comes here every other weekend. The weeks that I only have lectures that don't require physical presence, I stay with him and do them online. I knew it was going to be hard, because it is hard to be apart from your loved one. But never did I think that he would cheat and use being lonely and missing me as an excuse. But that was his excuse. That this was harder than he expected and that he missed me all the time. He met my best friend on coincidence one day, and he lamented how much he missed me and hated being apart. And she was supportive and understanding. Then it happened, all because he missed me. Can you imagine leaving your home and the people you know and love to be stuck in a city where you don't know anyone and have no family and friends and read your husband make that excuse? I called my best friend's husband on Friday and told him everything. I wanted to know everything before I ruined another marriage, especially because she and her husband have 2 children. I apologized to him and told him that I wasn't sure if he wanted to know or not, but that he would probably eventually hear about it, and maybe it is better that he heard it from me rather than gossipy acquaintances. He was shocked and devastated, but he thanked me. We ended up talking for 4 hours trying to remember if we missed any red flags, and how stupid we must have been not noticing any. I've heard that he has moved out with his children. The only text I got from her was that I was vindictive, and not to worry because her husband loves her and that I didn't succeed in my revenge. I've been living in an Airbnb these past few days because I knew that my husband would try to visit me, and I was right. He is currently in my apartment. I ended up meeting the Tinder guy for drinks. He knows that I am newly single and only in town for a few months, and that I'm not looking for anything serious right now. I shared a picture of our drinks on Insta story and made sure that his arm showed. My phone went mental with texts and calls from my husband. Over 100 calls and 100 texts. To be honest, I felt that I needed to meet someone to talk to anyway. While I know few people here, I don't really have any friends, so it was nice to just meet and talk to someone. He is very good looking too, so I will definitely keep in touch, and he texted me yesterday about meeting again. So nothing happened on Friday. Eventually it will. I know that I will never hurt my husband the way he hurt me because I don't believe he ever loved me like I loved him. He hurt me because I love him. I hurt him because he loves himself. He and your best friend are both pieces of trash. I lived apart from my husband in different cities for the first couple of years of our relationship. We saw each other weekly like you. Sure, it is not fun to be apart, but it's certainly not like being abandoned, and it would never cause any normal faithful partner to immediately rush into betting your best friend. He cheated because he wanted to cheat, and because you weren't around to find out, it made him feel guilty. Exactly. He cheated because he knew I wasn't around, and he brought her to my home, twice, before realizing he was being a douche. Don't ever go back to your husband, and your ex-BFF is a POS too. I hope her husband divorces her. He will. I've heard gossip and he actually spilled all the tea. He doesn't think she is worth saving a marriage for. Haha, good. Too bad for the kids, but she only has herself to blame. I know, but I don't think it is better for the children to have parents who don't love each other. Yeah, I spent my entire childhood wondering why the hell my parents were even married, and wondering when they would just break up. It was because my mom got pregnant with my brother. It was a pregnancy marriage. My dad finally had enough and they finally divorced when I was 18. I couldn't believe it took 20 years. And when it happened, I was not shocked. I thought it was gonna happen many, many years ago. I hope your ex-best friend's husband leaves her. Hopefully she ends up with your crappy ex, so they don't go ruining more marriages. I don't know if they end up together or not. It would rid the world of two a-holes if they ended up together and stopped hurting others. My ex was with a wannabe gold digger. They got married 30 days after our final decree. It wasn't long before they were both cheating again. She thought he was on a fast corporate track. They made my life hell because I got the stock options, half his pension, alimony, and child support. I laughed when I heard he was hiding the credit cards, and he emailed that he was, "Oh, I'm so sorry, and wants all our good times back." When I replied, I said, "They really weren't that good for me. No thanks. Been divorced for 28 years and he still tries to play me. Really hope you don't have a kid with this guy, or go back. Sure, you deserve better." Next story. My husband is too busy and too important to care about our children, and I'm sick of it. My husband is a surgeon, and according to him, he's the most important person in the world. A god among men who casually determines life or death, and is far, far too important to be bothered by the trivial concerns of us mere peons. Concerns like maybe you should spend some time with your freaking girls? But oh no, you see, he works so hard and has so much pressure that when he's home, he has to be sequestered from the annoying sounds of our girls playing. Or, being happy to see him. My dad has picked up the slack. He's been the one that changed their diapers. I drop them off at school and go to work. Dad picks them up and stays with them till I get home. My dad was the one who taught them to ride a bike. My dad is the one who shows up to the plays and dance recitals. He's the one that helps with the homework. My dad is the one who dresses as Santa. My dad is the one who does the Easter egg hunts and tea parties. My husband is far too important for any of that. And despite the fact that my husband has absolutely no interest in our kids, he's still mad that the kids are closer to my dad and him. So my dad is now struggling financially. We have the means to help him, but my husband doesn't want to. I'd rather see my dad move to the other side of the country and removed from our kids' lives. I put my foot down and he goes on to Reddit to whine about it. Well, now I'm here too, dear. You want to whine about our marriage on Reddit? I can do it too. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Your dad's a great dad and grandpa. Your kids will know that. The kids love him. He's been a daily fixture in their lives since they were born. They know him better than they know their father. Maybe it's time to put dad on a payroll for all the caregiving duties. It's not money given to him, but money owed to him for the work he does. I work with doctors, including surgeons. I don't know a single male surgeon that doesn't have a side chick and is not divorced, often multiple times. Surgeons are a mess, and they are the last people I would ever date. Yes, I know there are good ones, but they're extremely rare. My ex-fiance's dad was a surgeon, and while we were dating, he introduced his entire family to his side chick and moved her into their home, instructing his grown sons to call her mom name and his then wife move into the guest room. She eventually moved into an apartment and then ended herself 6 months later. The callousness that all of those men showed that woman was what broke us up. I couldn't believe it. His dad had no accountability or remorse. I have quite a number of friends that work in the medical field, from nurses to consultants, and without hesitation, if you ask them who the worst group of people they work with are, they'll say surgeons. Their takes are almost identical. Brilliant at what they do, but emotionally stunted, and almost devoid of basic life or social skills. One very talented surgeon that used to work with a pal of mine had to be told not to put metal in a microwave. Twice. They always mentioned an exception to the rule, and it took 15 years for me to realize they were all talking about the same guy. I thought it was just a generalization. Surely this can't be all of them. Then I went on a date with one, and Jesus Christ. I spent most of that time wondering how they are allowed to leave the house unsupervised. You must have the patience of a saint. Get your dad in the pool house, and best of luck. Also, apologies to the lovely, well-adjusted surgeons out there. You do great work. Now for the update. Wow, this all blew up. I was so angry when I posted this. Now I'm just drained. He came by yesterday to pick up some things and we argued. The girls were out with my dad because I knew this would be a fight and I didn't want them around for this. He said awful things, just awful, about me, my dad, and the girls. After I left, I talked to my mom. We have a difficult relationship, but if there's one person I want in my corner going into the divorce, it's her. The divorce is happening. I saw an attorney my mom recommended today. I'm really, really glad I went through that prenup my mom wanted when we got married now. At this point, I won't speak to my soon-to-be ex-husband. My lawyer is doing my talking for me. I'm exhausted. Thank you everyone for all the support. It helped to read the comments and know people supported me. He made me feel so small and stupid yesterday, and he said awful things about our girls. I'm not mad anymore. I'm just heartbroken. Our girls deserve better than this. I really wanted better for them. I just wanted to have a family and a nice home. Now I'm just going through a divorce like my parents. I never wanted this. I tried so hard to keep this all together so we didn't wind up here, but I've failed. Update 2. I've been getting a lot of questions and requests for an update, so I'll keep this short. We are moving forward with the divorce. He's moved out and Dad's moved in. The kids are good. Last story. Who knew that all I had to do was to give them my blessing for my husband and his mistrust to break up? I've known about his infidelity for 10 months now when he almost missed the birth of our baby. We had a planned C-section, but our daughter decided she couldn't wait, and I called him all morning confused and terrified, in pain, because I was scheduled 2 weeks later. My mom finally got hold of him. He smelled disgusting. My way, a perfume that I really hate. He looked more guilty than excited, and he smelled disgusting. Anyway, when we got home, I looked in his phone and found out about them. I don't know how he has been able to fool me, or was I just blind? I told him that I knew, and he tried to deny it and I didn't argue. When I didn't argue, he probably felt relieved that I had dropped it. Or maybe he thought I believed him. One day, he came home late and he smelled of my way again, and I broke down crying and begging him to stop. To choose our family. To choose me. I love you. He just denied it again and I didn't argue again. I told him that I hated what he was doing and that I hated her disgusting perfume. I don't think it mattered because he was working late again not a week later. The day after New Year's Day, I took my children to town because I convinced myself that I needed to do some shopping. I found myself walking around his office around lunchtime looking inside restaurants. I thought that after the holidays keeping them apart, they would be wanting to have lunch together on their first day at work. My heart was racing and my stomach churning. I thought that if I saw them together, I would faint or even die. But none of this happened. I found them as I expected in the restaurant he used to take me to whenever I visited him. I was surprised that hurt and humiliation I was expecting and fearing didn't come. Instead, I felt calm and relief, like something big and heavy was lifted from my heart. I even felt embarrassed that he was as predictable as I thought. I think I stopped having any feelings for him right that moment. It reeked of my way in the whole restaurant, or maybe I just imagined it. I told them that I wasn't there to cause trouble, but that I needed to see for myself. I told her that she had won and that now she could have him. I told him that if he followed after me, that I would scream, because he was about to. When he got home, he wanted to talk. I told him that I wasn't angry or hurt anymore. He could be with her. For almost 2 weeks now, they have been arguing and fighting over text, because he ended the affair. I will never understand how some people function. Why weren't my tears and pleas enough for him to end it? But my blessings were. Because illicit affair, mistrust, and gaslighting you are thrilling and power games that make them feel important and like special snowflakes. Impending divorce, STD check, lawyers, alimony and child support, home wrecker don't have quite the same sexy flavor to them. Right, he didn't want to be with her. He wanted to bed her, sneak around, and get a rush from feeling like a young hot guy while his wife stays stuck at home with the kids. Now that he's facing only having the side chick, who probably doesn't want to be a stepmother to the kids of a man she knows firsthand cannot be trusted not to wonder, is panicking about losing his actual partner, home, money, and time with his kids. I hope Opie doesn't waver, because a man that is out cheating when his wife is not only pregnant but due to give birth in the next few weeks is a huge POS. He also didn't think she would leave him over it. He loved the idea of 2 women wanting him. When one of them noped out of the competition and the one that noped out was the one wanted, he quit the game. It was no longer fun having a woman he didn't really want chasing after him. Too bad for him. He blew up his life for a woman he doesn't want and lost the one he did want. Please tell me you are filing for divorce. Eventually.
Update. I found out that I wasn't my husband's first choice. Original post. My husband 29 and I 26. Met online 3 years ago and we got married last May. We have had a great relationship and our wedding day was the happiest day in my life. My husband is so good to me and he makes me feel so loved and appreciated. And I love him so much. But everything changed last Monday. I was on my sister-in-law's baby shower and when they didn't know I was listening, my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and sister-in-law's best friend were in the kitchen talking about my husband and I. The friend said she liked me a lot, and my sister-in-law said she was happy he let Maddie go and settled with me, and that she never thought this would happen. I pretended that I didn't hear them, but I knew Maddie to be a close friend of my husband from college. He never mentioned that they were in a relationship. All I knew is that she moved to live in another city after graduation and that she couldn't attend our wedding. So since Monday, I have been pondering. I'm happy with him, but I wanted to know why he never mentioned anything about Maddie. So today, I did what any sensible wife would do, and I waited for him to go to work and started snooping around on his iPad. He doesn't know I know his code. I didn't even need to look for long. There it was. Tens, maybe hundreds of texts between them over a period of years. Before he met me and even after. From what I understood, he has asked her out many times and she has refused. Him telling her he would never love anyone like her and she stopped him with a wink emoji that says, "I won't have you, but please do keep trying." One of Maddie's texts, right before we got married, was about how she knew she would eventually end up with him. My husband texts back that he was getting married soon and that he was happy. She answered, "You can always get a divorce." And my husband sent a cry laughing and winky emojis. She then texted, "If you chose between the two of us, who would you choose?" He answered, "You only want me when I'm not available." She answered, "Shut up. I know you still love me." He didn't answer. The last exchange between them was 3 weeks ago. She told him that she's moving back home and that she missed him and wondered if they could meet. He said, of course he wanted to meet. She asked him, "Wouldn't your wife mind?" Winky face. He answered, "Why should she?" She, "If she knew what I want to do to you, she should be worried actually." He, "Stop teasing, it won't work." She, "I'm not teasing. That poor woman won't stand a chance." She, "I called you, why didn't you pick up?" He, "We're having dinner, I will call you tomorrow." So that's all I could find. I haven't talked to him yet because I don't know how to approach the subject. I think there's definitely something between them. But I can't ask him because he would know that I went through his texts. I'm very hurt. I thought he loved me and that he was happy with me. I want to cry. I don't know what my next step should be. One moment I want to pretend I had no idea and wait for him to leave me. The next I want to run away and never come back. Now for the top advice before reading the updates. Send a screenshot with just this segment. You can always get a divorce. And my husband sends a cry laughing and winky emojis. With a message that says, "You got your wish." Crying laughing and winky emojis. Seriously though, jokes aside, the fact that he hasn't even mentioned her to you makes me feel he won't ever be honest or loyal. The emojis killed me. What does it even mean? The problem is with women like her. I think it's interesting to her as long as he's married. The day I ask for divorce, he's gonna lose both. Of course. It is too stupid to know that. She likes having him on a hook to boost her ego. Your sister-in-law already knew this all along. Yep, women can sense women who are like this a mile away. But try to tell men that and some will just say that women never understand her. Women are always jealous of her, etc. Nope. Women just know a shady pick-me chick when we see one. Hey Opie, I 27 female have been in your position. Trust me, they don't change. And know what? When I finally got the courage to leave years later, after a lot of cheating/manipulation on his part, I found the love of my life. I've never been happier. Point is, you don't have to stay. You will find happiness. Save yourself the time and all the extra heartache. Good luck. Definitely take screenshot and confront him. Do you know if he met up with this woman yet or if she moved back yet? I have been snooping on her IG. She's moving back December 1st. I don't know if I should confront him now or wait until she moved here. I am kinda curious about what he would do if she's here. But I don't know if he cheats it would kill me, although I feel like he already killed me. This whole comment section is a dumpster fire of bad advice. Talk to your freaking husband. Don't break stuff. Don't forward this text chain to everyone you know. And now for the first update. I don't believe the amount of people that were interested in my story. So many replies and upvotes that a post got locked. I knew I could find support online because I just couldn't be the only one with an indecisive douche for a husband. And I was not wrong. Before I continue, I need to say that I never expect to be my significant other's first love, and not even the last. I just expect to be the only one as long as he's chosen to be in my life. And I don't think that's too much to ask for. So please, people with "he has lived before you" comments, don't purposefully misinterpret what I'm saying. As I said in my last post, I have been pondering all week, and I just came to the conclusion that my/our situation is either bad or worse. Bad if my husband is innocent of cheating and is just liking the attention of the one that he once was tormented by. That would explain his aloofness and his very short replies. He wants her attention but nothing more. Worse is that he's having an emotional affair, and is either scared of trusting her fully, hence the vague text, or is just waiting for her to move back before making a move. Either situation isn't something I want to live with. Whatever anyone says about his text, I thought he showed little to no respect for me. And no love at all. I want someone to love me even behind my back. Because it doesn't matter how much he shows me he loves me, it's what he doesn't show that matters. And please don't tell me they're friends. We're grown-ups. We don't put friends over spouses and family. It's not cool. So today I told him that I don't think it's working out for me and that I want a divorce. I thought about confrontation, but the outcome is the same, so why not save the drama? I don't care to know more about details about them, or maybe I care too much. He was very shocked and asked me if there was someone else, and I said no. I have been thinking, and this is not where I want to be in my life right now. He wanted to know more. Is it a question about having kids? Is it our living situation? He was mad, then sad, then mad again, and left. He texted that he wanted to talk more when he got home. Maybe I will regret not confronting him and hearing his side of the story, but something broke inside me when I saw how he was in his texts. I don't view him the same way now, and all I can think of now is to get out of this with my dignity intact. I can mourn what we had and cry later. Now for more advice before the final update. Tell him what you found. It's not about her winning. He should know his actions led to this outcome. He betrayed you, and this is the consequence of his betrayal. I think you're doing yourself a disservice by not disclosing what you found. I absolutely agree. Definitely tell him so he knows why. Opie doesn't have to change her mind no matter what he says, but let him know. Exactly my thoughts. Otherwise, he would think Opie's divorcing him out of the blue. He needs to know that he is the reason why this is happening. I would just confront him still so he can live with regret. If you don't tell him the truth, I'm afraid he's going to just get with a friend and live guilt-free because he feels as if you wanted to end it. Then she'll feel as if she won. And she angers me more than you know. But I would feel more satisfied having them know karma is going to get them both. It bothers me when individuals have no conscience and do whatever they want without any consequences. Just my opinion, doesn't mean you should follow it. I agree. I feel he needs to know that his actions have led to this, rather than it looking like Opie deciding they just aren't interested anymore. Doesn't mean it has to be a conversation. A simple, I have read XYZ, I don't need an explanation as it's clear enough. Please show me respect by not pushing this further. Do you think so? I think she would win if she knew I left him because of the flirting. Actually, I don't give a crap about her. What killed me was his actions and his text back to her advances. I'm sure she won't want him now that he's single. He's coming home later and he will probably pester me to tell him more. Let's hope I don't cave. You need to tell him why more reasons than that. 1, he will spin a narrative that you left him with no reason. You will look like the bad guy. And you will be the bad guy because he deserves to know why you're leaving. 2, he needs to be aware in how he messed up so that he can reflect on what he's done and take that lesson moving forward to his next relationship. 3, your kids might blame you or grow to resent you if they think you walked away from their dad without trying to fix things. Not saying to tell the kids the reason, but if everyone around them is saying mom divorced dad for no reason, that's gonna impact them. We don't have kids. We have been talking about one, etc. If we had kids, I would probably have handled it totally differently. I can't imagine altering my life so dramatically based on reading text messages, and then not confronting the person to get an understanding of what I read. Honestly, kind of crazy. Good luck. There was a lot more text than what I put in my first post. A lot. And if you read them, you would think I didn't even exist. As I said, she was mostly the instigator, but he did text first a couple of times. Like the one on his bachelor party. He texted first, saying he was so sad she didn't come. He wanted to see her one last time before he entered the cage. She answered that she had a key to that cage. He answered, haha. Now for the final update. I have read everything my husband written, and it's basically the same stuff he has been texting me since yesterday. He is embarrassing, actually, to see him call my feelings her crazy and putting women in leagues. I can't believe he still thinks this is fixable. He wants us to start counseling because we can't break up over something this stupid. He doesn't want to cut Maddie out because it will only prove that he has feelings for her, and must therefore block her to move on when it's untrue, and that he wasn't going to meet her alone, but be one of the people who will help her move. Yes, husband is a doctor, Maddie's too. It doesn't mean he's smart though, because he isn't. I am a chef. One of the things Maddie, and probably many others, make sly remarks on. No, I haven't spoken nor do I intend to speak to her. Neither to tell her off or to tell her he's hers. I don't want anything to do with her. My problem is with my dear husband. I do think she's a pathetic, miserable, attention-seeking, home-wrecking hoe. But I will keep that to myself because my husband is the one who wronged me. If she and my husband end up together, it's only logical because he's also a pathetic, miserable, attention-seeking homewrecker. A match made in heaven. I'm going to file for divorce and that's that. I'm so sorry for everything that has happened, and I'm sorry it was over a stupid thing, but I'm thankful that it happened sooner rather than later. Thank you. I'm sorry that you're going through this. It seems like there are some other issues that exist in your relationship, and this is the final straw. This is more than a silly text. It's disrespectful and untrustworthy, and you need both in a marriage. I hope you're doing okay. I'll leave a window that if you somehow work things out, that isn't bad either. Not encouraging you to, but I've ended relationships and had people say you dodged a bullet when I wasn't trying to dodge it, and I still care about the person. Stay strong. I still love him, but I love myself more. I posted something yesterday, but I think the fact that he's refusing to remove the antagonizing factor in all this is and will always be problematic. May you move forth in healing, in growth, and in true happiness. He still insists that if he cuts her off, she will think he has feelings for her. I don't know, but we talked a lot yesterday. I felt like he cared a lot about not giving her the idea that he had feelings for her. Why is it so important if he really doesn't care? Now for the last story. My wife is considering divorcing me after finding out the real reason we started dating. I love my wife very much and she's the best thing that's ever happened to me. However, our relationship started in what you can call a non-traditional way. First, some background information. My 34 male cousin, 35 male, and I have always had a friendly rivalry. Ever since we were children, we were always trying to one-up one another, and when it got to high school, it really amped up. If I bought a jacket, he would go out and buy a nicer jacket. If he bought the newest gaming system, I would purposely steal his games, even though I didn't own a Super Nintendo yet. Whenever I dated a girl or showed interest in a girl, he would swoop in and take her from me. It got so bad that we actually had a couple of physical altercations over it. Things came to a head when, long story short, he slept with my long-term crush. Let's call her Stacy. I vowed to get revenge. I noticed him talking to a girl from my class. Let's call her Jane. Being all flirty towards her, spending a lot of time with her, and so on. I didn't waste any time. I asked her out as soon as I could, and she said yes. Turns out she had a crush on me for a while, even though I did not find her remotely attractive. The date actually went really well. Turns out we shared a lot of the same interests. I kept dating her to rub it into my cousin because I noticed he was still talking to her between classes. Over time, I came to love Jane's personality and forgot the fact that I wasn't physically attracted to her. We dated all throughout university and we got married 5 years ago. I can't picture life without her. Now that COVID-19 restrictions have loosened up, we had Steven over for dinner. To my great surprise, Steven is currently dating Stacy, and it turns out they reconnected when they were both hired to the same company this summer. We were reminiscing about old times, and our rivalry came up. We had all been drinking at that point, and I mentioned that in high school Steven slept with Stacy because he knew that I had liked her. I then added, but the rivalry ended up working out for me. I asked Jane out as revenge because I knew you had a crush on her, and now we're married. I definitely should not have said this, as several people got upset when I revealed this information. Stacy was shocked that Steven had treated her like a prize and objectified her. Steven revealed that he had never had a crush on Jane. They were just in the same math class and Jane was helping him with the schoolwork. He scoffed that Jane wasn't a prize after all, and I felt humiliated. I wasn't aware. I thought Jane was upstairs putting our daughters to sleep. She had been standing in the hallway behind me, listening into our whole conversation. I could see the horror in Stacy's face and realized that my wife was standing behind me, sobbing. Jane has always been very sensitive about not being one of the hot girls, and I had been the first boy to ever ask her out on a date. I started trying to apologize and explain that I love Jane very much now. I fell in love with her wonderful personality, her kindness, her intelligence, and so on. She didn't even listen to any of my heartfelt compliments and instead asked Steven and I to leave the house. Now Stacy and Steven have broken up, and he is blaming me. But even worse, my wife threatening to divorce me over this whole thing. She says our entire relationship was based on a lie, and she will never be able to look at me or our relationship in the same way. How can I convince her that my feelings for her might not have started out that way, but are very real now? I love this woman, and I love our marriage and the life we have built together. We have 2 young daughters, 3 and 1, and I don't want them to grow up in a broken home. What can I do to fix this? Let's go off the list. You haven't called her attractive once in the entire post. You let your cousin scoff and say she wasn't a prize, and you didn't argue at all. You admitted out loud you never liked her and dated her for a while still not liking her. You forgot that you weren't attracted to her, not that you became attracted to her. You openly admit the other woman sitting in front of you guys was your original target. Yeah, you totally blew it. And it sounds like you did very little to soothe her. You really make it sound like you love her personality but aren't attracted to her, which is a deal breaker for most people. No one wants to, / should ever hear that their spouse is with them in spite of their appearance. Like, damn man, I was coming in to say things change. Like you had an online to real-life girlfriend I met in an online game who I only befriended to borrow an in-game item. But this is awful. Yeah, I was also expecting the story where he wasn't attracted to her when they first dated, but he is now. And this is not that. Steven revealed that he had never had a crush on Jane. They were just in the same math class and Jane was helping him with his schoolwork. He scoffed that Jane wasn't a prize after all, and I felt humiliated. Why did you feel humiliated? Because he went for a woman that his idiot cousin didn't actually like, of course. How embarrassing for him.
Now I have won my husband back, I am leaving him. Plus update. Original post. I have secured an apartment for my baby and me, and I have put everything in order and prepared for custody, shared or otherwise. I have divided the money and transferred my share to a third account, and it will stay there until the divorce proceedings and the dividing of the assets. I found out that my husband was having an affair while I was postpartum. I thought that I would die because I love him, and it felt like my heart was broken into a million pieces. I knew that it was over, but my curiosity got the best of me. I wanted to know why. What was it she had that I didn't? Did he love her? I started reading his texts and everything was there. It felt like he was alive again. He was happy and excited. She's single and childless, so she had all the time in the world to make him her priority. He felt seen and desired by her. I was confused because even with life coming between us, he was always my love, and I made sure he knew that every day. Still, it wasn't enough. I read thousands upon thousands of messages between them, and I started being everything he fantasized about. In the beginning, it felt weird, and he was confused, but I just went on. Every time he made plans with her, I found a way to make him stay, or I made sure that I sent him exhausted to her. The messages became less and less frequent, and the passion and excitement subsided. Soon, answering her became more of a chore. The complaining started and him pulling away. He was happier at home, and he couldn't wait to come home. He started texting me again during the day. The sweetest text of how he missed me. He was his old self back. One day, what I hoped and waited patiently for happened. He ended things with her. He told her that he loved me and that now everything was great again. Her services weren't needed, in other words. I felt relief, and finally I could move on. Now I am preparing for my divorce. He will get the papers the day I leave for my new life in my new apartment. I know I will get a lot of hate for this because I have neglected my husband and pushed him to seek solace in another woman's arms when I apparently could have given him what he sought all along. And believe me, I will bear that guilt for the rest of my life. In my defense, I didn't do it intentionally. Our lives had just been altered drastically, and I was trying to navigate this new and exciting existence. I was immersed in this new kind of happiness that I thought I was sharing with him. And I was trying to get to know my new body that I couldn't recognize anymore. A real scary feeling. But he could have come to me with his hurt. He could have talked to me about his suffering. He could have tried to make me understand, but he chose not to. He decided to deceive me, deceive us. He ruined our love, our future, and even our history. Nothing was, is, or will be the same again. Now for the top comments before reading the update. I just hope you took tons of screenshots of those texts. This isn't petty revenge, but nuclear revenge, and I for one ain't mad at you. Revenge is best served cold, and this is ice cold. All the best to you and your little one in your new life. Looking forward to the update. Yes, please have screenshots. I had them for my divorce and it made a world of difference. Cheating on your postpartum wife is so dirty that I can't even describe it. It's rubbish. Someone despicable and capable of much worse things than cheating. These are the kind of partners that leave when a cancer diagnosis is given to their spouse. I'm commenting kind of early on, but I love how people so far are basically like, not gonna lie, I love this for you. Which, same here, lol. In all seriousness, it's hard to leave a partner with a new baby. And I know that prepping for and starting a divorce isn't exactly easy, and I'm glad you used that time wisely. He had no problem pretending everything was all good when he was cheating. Why would you not return the favor? He set the standard here. I also love that for her, but at the same time, it's sad to see a marriage that could have lasted fail because a partner decided to step out instead of talking it out. Just look how quickly he came back because OP gave him what he was missing. Such a disappointment. I would have immediately raged at him and noped the heck out for not only cheating, but cheating while I just had his baby. But I always applauded petty revenge. You didn't neglect him. He got you pregnant and then started banging someone else. You're not neglecting someone if you were unable to do the same things as you could before you had a baby. You were being a mother, and instead of being a father, he was getting his junk wet. Wish you the best, and I hope you have screenshots of all the evidence of the affair so he can't act like it came out of nowhere to others. I just felt ashamed that I lost my love, and I guess it made sense that I wanted to win him back. I get what you mean though. Don't feel ashamed. You have done nothing wrong. He didn't seek solace, he betrayed your vows. While you're at home caring for his child, instead of making sure you're both okay, he chooses to go have an affair with that woman. Of course your priority is your baby. You're its source of food and main caregiver. His priority should be both of you, but he neglected you both. If you need validation, let me give it to you. You didn't deserve this. You're better than him because the hurt that he may feel from this will be the consequences of his actions, and he deserves to feel hurt. I hope he regrets his choices for the rest of his life. Now for the update. He always loved April Fools. I feel a lot of guilt and guilt-related pain. I know what I am doing is so cruel, but I guess I will just keep going with my plans. There's no turning back now. Whenever I feel down like I am the bad guy, I just remember their conversations. No, I am not the villain here. I will end the marriage and I will tell him that it is because we aren't compatible anymore. Let him think whatever. I have decided maybe I shouldn't tell him that I know about her. Let him run back to her once he realizes that I am really gone. When my baby is older, we could tell him that we got an amicable divorce. No hurt or hard feelings. Two people who fell out of love. My boy doesn't need to know his daddy broke up the family. It is okay. You can hate me. Why are you feeling guilty? He's the one who cheated and is reaping what he sowed. Because I am bitterly plotting behind the scenes and won't give him a chance to apologize or explain. He didn't give you a heads up on his cheating, did he? No, he didn't. Also, feel free to tell your child the truth. I am so sick of covering for my ex for my children's sake when he is the one that messed up and destroyed a family. I agree here. I did that and now my kids think I'm the bad guy. I say be realistic about the situation to the kids and stop sugarcoating. Yes, please. It's so sick when kids blame the innocent party because they broke the marriage when it's the other way around. Kids are smart. They don't need to hate their cheater parents. They can have a perfect relationship, but no one has to carry the burden to protect the cheater. Exactly. My son is 15 and I'm open with him when he asks questions because he remembers a lot of what happened. For years I kept quiet. But now I just tell him, your dad is a good dad but was a crappy husband and is a crap ex-husband. That has nothing to do with you. If my daughter asks once she's older, I'll tell her the same. Next story. His mistress made him a better husband. I feel nauseous. Original post. I'm just nauseous and want to vent, so please let me do it here. Everything changed about 3 years ago and my husband became my dream man. Before that, we suffered a lot in our marriage. After 2 hard pregnancies and PPD, my libido was diminished and we fought all the time. After 4 years of dead bedroom, we started therapy. I thought that was where the improvement came from. My husband started paying attention to me. In the beginning, I was panicking because whenever he paid me attention before, he expected intimacy. But now it felt like he was seeing me as a human being for the first time. He was attentive and caring, empathetic. He touched and cuddled and kissed me out of the blue, without wanting intimacy in return. He started helping around the house, bringing me flowers, take out dinners when I work late, planning date nights. Anniversaries, birthdays, and holidays are planned perfectly, and I started getting the most beautiful and thoughtful gifts. When we fought, he would come the next day and admitted his wrongs and very accurately, if he was the one in the wrong, something he never did before. He would apologize too, when back in the days, him apologizing would be a blow to his ego. He said he was happy all the time and lucky to have us as his family. Everything was better, and I even got my libido back, if not as high as I hoped. I found their conversation about 5 days ago, and I have probably spent over 50 hours reading them. 3 years worth of conversation. He would tell her his woes and she would listen. 99 out of 100 times she sided with me. She taught him about intimacy and how important it is in marriages. The tragically funny part is that he never got angry or offended by her telling him off, calling him silly, stubborn, or at times man-baby. Her honesty was brutal, and yet he agreed with her. She was the one suggesting all the changes, and he would ask her for advice about gifts, traveling, and all the beautiful things he did for our family. He thanks her all the time for helping him turn his miserable home life around, making it tolerable. With all these texts, there were the texts between them that are about them, like nobody else existed around them. The flirting, sex talk, and pictures. The longing to see each other. He says she's the love of his life every day, and that he wishes their circumstances were different. She says the same. They both agree that divorce would ruin their families and that they couldn't be that selfish. How admirable. I feel nauseous. My happiness for the past 3 years were fake. I don't know what to do. I want to hurt them. I want to expose them and want to ruin whatever they think is perfect happiness. Edit. I am 35. My husband is 39. We have 2 children, 9 and 7. She's 40 and she has 1 child, 14. She is in a dead bedroom with her husband too, and for 14 years. The affair is physical too, yes, but they meet maybe once every month or every other month. She tells my husband that what they feel is probably limerence, but that they don't know it yet because they meet so little. She lives in another city. Now for the top advice before the update 4 months later. Send her flowers and a thank you note. Send him divorce papers. Send her husband their texts. This. Grant them their wish and let them experience their love in the open. Let them split their finances, blend their families, meet the in-laws, build a home, share the chores, worry about bills, discipline the kids, clean up each other's messes, see each other at their worst. Let them experience a relationship where they share everything of each other and not just the snippets. His experienced highlight reel, her too, show them the whole damn film. This is 100% the only reason she or any other affair partner is the love of his life. They don't truly know the other person, not like they think they do. You don't know someone until you've had to scrub their shit out of the toilet, listen to them say rude things without thinking, fart in bed, burp up sausage and onions from the baseball game, turn on video games instead of having dinner at the table, throw their dirty socks everywhere, deal with days on end of a vertigo episode / post-surgery healing / fatigue problem. I could go on and on and on. True love is seeing all that and deciding not to have an affair and continue to choose that person. Affairs are not love. Do it. He may have improved on all his issues, but it wasn't because he wanted to do it for or because of you. It was all for her. He still wants her and imagines her. Blow both their lives away. Yes, he does it for her. I just don't understand why she wanted him to become a better husband and have a better marriage. Because it is. Our marriage is better, and he admits it to her and thanks her for it. God, I feel sick and confused and sick. If you're happy, then you are less likely to look for problems that might expose their secret. Also, she'll benefit for when they meet up. Maybe she's also helping him as a way to alleviate some of her guilt. She might feel that if you get a better husband from her advice, then she's not as bad a person for carrying out the affair. Either way, go scorched earth. Now for the update 4 months later. I was here some weeks ago with my original post. I finally decided that I really should reach out to the husband of my husband's mistress. I found him easily and I contacted him. He didn't believe me at first and was rude about it and told me to go F myself. I hesitated to contact him again, to be honest, but after a few days, I realized that I would too not believe a stranger just popping in my DMs, accusing my significant other of cheating. So I recorded my husband's phone with my phone, especially the messages where she sent explicit photos and stuff. I also went to the contact to show the number. He didn't answer me the first day. Then he called me the C word and blocked me. I thought, well then I have done my part, and it's on him if he believed me or not. Then after a week, my husband came home angry and he yelled at me for exposing them. He asked me why I didn't confront him instead. My problem was with him. I've never seen him yell like this. Then he packed a bag and left for about a week. I think he's traveled to her. When he got home, he said that it was over. He said that he has been trying to make me happy for years, and he's done everything a good husband would do. But still, nothing was good enough for me. I've made him miserable for years, and instead of taking it out on him, I chose to hurt a woman and her child. He moved to his parents' house and now is renting an apartment. I've heard that he travels the weeks he doesn't have the children to be with her, and that she's moving here soon when she gets full custody of her child. I've not been feeling well at all. He has never spoken to me directly since he left, and I haven't seen him. He adamantly refuses to talk to me, like I never existed in his life. I don't know what I have done to deserve this treatment. I hate that they won. The last 3 years of your marriage were a lie. You know that now. He is the person who treated you before his affair partner had to convince him to be good to you. He is not a good person. Do they even really know each other? Like how it is to be around each other on a daily basis? They're genuinely dumb to think the list will stay with 3 kids around, plus handling chores and day-to-day things of life. They have 2 custody battles ahead of them, and divorced on top of it. If he's angry with you, the next time you have to see him, ask him why. He got what he wanted. He wanted to be with her, and now he is. So why is he angry that you gave him what he wanted? It's probably shame that is painted to be a cheater. Now he can't manipulate the narrative and paint you as the bad person. If what they want is each other, let them have each other. They're both awful people, so they deserve each other. He is not angry about the divorce. He is angry I told the husband instead of him, because the husband hurt her and her kid. Why do you owe him that though? What the husband did was because of the husband. You didn't take control of his body. You didn't force him to have that reaction. How the heck were you even meant to know he was like that? It's sad it happened, but out of everyone to blame, you carry the least. I don't blame myself at all, but that's what made him not even want to see or talk to me. He thinks I should have confronted him instead. I don't know. I don't regret it, but sometimes I do. You didn't ruin a wife and child's life. The cheating wife did that herself. She deserves everything bad that happens to her. As for your cheating pile of crap, lawyer up and divorce him. You will be much happier. A spouse's cheating should be a major deciding factor in child custody battles, because someone who cheats demonstrates an inability or unwillingness to provide a stable home for their child, and callousness for how their actions affect them. It speaks greatly to their character and suitability as a parent. Unless there is compelling reason otherwise, such as abuse, that should basically decide a primary custody case in favor of the non-cheating parent. You can't change my mind. It could possibly affect the division of assets in some places, but unfortunately, they don't even factor in spousal abuse. You can beat your wife and still get joint custody here, as long as you don't beat the kids. In fact, in my state, you can't even get a divorce if you're pregnant, even in cases of abuse. They didn't win, you did. Now you don't have to deal with an idiot cheating husband who tries to gaslight people. I hope this is what I eventually will be feeling thinking back. Right now, I don't. She has the man I love, and worse, she has his heart. They won. She has opened the position of his mistress up. She didn't win anything. All she did is secure her spot as the next woman he cheats on. We'll see.